Hey chess lovers, welcome back to Chess Tricky. In this video, I have a special gambit that's really aggressive against the Italian game. With this brutal gambit, your opponent, it's going to be really tough to hold on, no matter what the situation is. We're going to learn how to play the Blackburne Shilling Gambit. Let's go, rock and roll! e4, e5, then knight to f3. Followed by knight to c6, defending the pawn. This is the Italian game, bishop to c4. The main theoretical moves here are either bishop to c5 or the knight jumping to f6. These moves are perfect for you to play in a classic game, of course, with no time limit for thinking. But for a more disruptive move, you can play the knight to d4. We are now in the territory of the Blackburne Shilling Gambit. Usually, if you're less familiar with this, white will get really confused. If the knight takes your knight, you just recapture it, no need to be confused, and everything is safe. But according to the Lichess database, the most popular or frequently played move from intermediate to beginner levels is the knight capturing on e5. At this point, your position looks really dangerous because a pair of white's minor pieces are putting pressure on the weak f7 pawn. Luckily, you found this video. What's your move? Here, you actually win the game. We're going to play the magic move, queen g5. Look at how your queen is so flexible. It's attacking the knight, and it's also targeting g2. So, according to the online database, there are two most common moves for white. The knight captures on f7, or the bishop captures on f7. Let's see what happens after the bishop captures on f7. Check. Just continue with king to e7. The king is still attacking the bishop, and the queen is still eyeing the knight. So, if one of these minor pieces moves, one of them will be lost. So, what should white play next? If the opponent is smart here, they won't want to trade the bishop for the knight. In this position, I recommend not capturing the bishop with the rook, or the knight with the queen. The move that will make your opponent panic is the queen capturing on g2, attacking the rook. After the queen takes, it's clearly checkmate, because the knight controls the e2 square. So after the rook avoids the immediate mate threat, no matter where it goes, queen takes, giving check, and after only move, then queen takes, and it's checkmate. So it's that easy and beautiful to defeat the Italian game. Go ahead and practice it.
Let's go back. Here, there is a threat of the queen capturing the rook for a mate in 1. Besides that, the bishop is also being attacked by the rook. What if now the rook doesn't move, but the bishop is the one that saves the day? Queen takes and check. So the bishop has to block. We still make the ending uncomfortable for the white king. After the queen moves to e4, check. If the queen blocks, we just capture with the knight. And what if the bishop blocks? We can then just capture the knight for free. Or we capture on c2, of course giving check. After queen takes, we just continue by recapturing with the queen. Clearly, white has to resign immediately. Even if the king moves just one step, we continue with the queen to the corner for checkmate. A truly beautiful checkmate in 10 moves.
Let's go back. Here, the queen attacks the knight. The queen attacks g2. Previously, the bishop captured the pawn. Then, continue with king to e7. Everything is okay. But the problem is, what if the knight captures weak f7 pawn? Obviously, white is really happy. Not because it's their birthday, but because they're about to win a jackpot, forking a pair of major pieces. Don't be sad, don't worry. Just keep calm and look for the best move. Your move stays the same, capture on g2, attacking the rook. It's a clear threat. For instance, if the knight takes on h8, then we can recapture the rook giving check. Bishop has to block, queen check. At this point, the story is the same. If the queen blocks, the knight simply captures the queen. Or, if the bishop blocks, the knight can capture on c2 just like before, with the same threat. But for a more torturous move, you can push the pawn to d5. White, don't forget, there's still a threat of the knight capturing on c2. Whatever move they make, for example, the knight jumping to a3 protect c2, or even the pawn pushing to attack the queen. All of that won't change white's bad day. They're still in a losing position. Check, only move. What is your move? Exactly. It's checkmate for good. There's no way out now. Let's go back.
Takes.
What if the knight doesn't capture, but the rook moves, saving its life? Our move stays the same. Queen takes with check. If white block with the queen, knight takes queen, bad news for white. So bishop has to block. Congratulations. Knight f3 smothered checkmate. Look, the bishop is pinned. It can't do anything now. Okay, we go back and let's continue. What if in this point, white responds with the knight to g4, cutting off the queen's view of g2? Please, feel free to pause the video. What should you play next? Okay, we make the forcing move, push the pawn to d5. Here, we're not only attacking the bishop, but also giving a discovered attack on the knight on g4. So, one of white's minor pieces will be yours. What white has to do will definitely make them dizzy. It's unavoidable. If the bishop gives check, we simply capture it with the knight. You win! Or, if the pawn is pushed to drive the queen away, you capture the knight for free. Even so, let's say, for example, the bishop goes back to e2, protecting the knight a second time. What? Really? This is no problem at all. You capture, and after the queen recaptures, we take the knight. In this position, since we are ahead in material, you just need to trade pieces, like the queen capturing the queen, if white doesn't do anything to the queen. If queen takes, bishop takes, you up a piece. Let's take an example. If the pawn is pushed, we play with a bit of tempo. After blocks, we play a strategic move, with the queen going back to back, as if we're guarding the central pawn on e5. But our real goal is to trade queens, because white will clearly be tempted to capture the pawn, giving a discovered check. Don't block the check with the bishop, we go for the exchange, and whether they like it or not, the queens have to be traded, and we recapture. Feel free to continue the game from this position with a one-piece advantage. Let's go back. Here, besides the bishop or knight capturing on f7, white might sometimes continue by castling the rook. Just takes, you up a piece. And whatever white moves, let's say c3, drive the knight away. Knight e6, and after d4, queen takes. If the rook moves to e1, attacking the queen, it also controls the entire e-file. And if there is a pawn push, you just capture the bishop. Here, we keep our material advantage. So, if before the pawn is pushed, the bishop retreats first, then the pawn is pushed. We control d5 with c6. So, white's pawn will struggle to get to e5. But what if white's pawn supports its sibling to be pushed forward? Just continue developing your minor pieces. Your knight controls e5. If white forces it by pushing the pawn, threatening your knight that is pinned to the rook, indeed, this is really annoying for you. What's your next move? Let's just ignore it, don't overthink it. Move the knight to g4. Here, you can see the threat on white's pair of weak pawns. What do you think is the right move as a follow-up here? Let's say the pawn captures. What happens next in the sequence? You have to be very careful here. This is a threat because there is a discovered check. The pawn can capture the pawn, and your bishop is also in trouble. Let's secure the king first by having the pawn capture. Now, the problem goes back to white's turn. There's still a threat to both pawns. How can we stop this threat? Let's take an example. If the pawn moves to h3, and after king moves, then the queen goes to g3, creating a mate in one threat. If the queen captures the knight, we take the rook, of course with tempo, and also the dark square bishop will be lose. So after pawn takes, how does white avoid the immediate mate in one, queen h2? What is their best way to defend? So, white must resign. There is no solution to avoid losing in this position. If the queen captures the bishop, here we can simply recapture with the queen. Or, besides capturing the queen can also capture the rook, giving a check. As the king moves, you capture the bishop, and then the rook is also in a very difficult position. So, after the king moves to g1, you don't need to continue with the queen to h2. just continue with the bishop to c5, giving check. If the king goes to h2, mate. King h1, also mate. Or let's take another example move. If the bishop blocks, bishop takes, check. After rook takes, queen takes, still check. Look, here we are ahead by 2 pawns, and in terms of material, we have a quality advantage. The rook is stronger than the knight. So after the king moves, we can push the pawn, opening the file for the rook. We can also push the other pawn, opening the bishop's diagonal as well. Then the rook can move more toward the center, so I think here you can just continue the game normally. Clearly, you have the advantage. Based on the Stockfish evaluation here, white is at about -3.5, so enjoy the game. Alright chess tricky friends, that's our video for today, beating the Italian game with the Blackburne Shilling Gambit. I hope you all enjoyed it and found the video useful. If you like or enjoy videos like this, please, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe, like the video, and turn on the notification bell, so you can keep getting the latest videos. And finally, take care, stay healthy, and thank you. See you next time.